Welcome to Movie of the Year, the only podcast that has the science and the screaming to unequivocally figure out what the best movie is of any given year. This year's 2006, so post last night's drunken blurry photos to Facebook and make them boys go loco. Before I introduce this week's panelists, know that this show is also a game in which points are awarded for well-made arguments, cogent thoughts about the film, jokes, and anything else I damn well feel like awarding. The winner will be my best friend for a week and have gloating rights. And the winner of last week, and my best friend, for last week at least, is Ryan.
Hey, Mike, thank you so much for having me. What a week it was. I don't think I won last week, but you write the history. You don't just do the present, you do the past as well because you're the host. So thank you for that trophy that used to belong to Greg, but now it's mine.
Well, somebody didn't show up, so maybe
Yeah.
I did rewrite history. Hey, Greg heads out there, and we know there's dozens of you. Greg's not showing up tonight. So if you only show up for Greg, X out the YouTube, turn off your podcatcher, do whatever feels right for you. But I think it's still going to be a great show, regardless of how little Greg there may be.
And so that means, Greg Heads, that we can't release what you demand every week of the Greg-only edit of the show, where it's just him responding to us and you can't hear us.
Which I get. I prefer his voice to mine and yours. But we don't need Greg, because we have a returning friend of the show that we're so pumped to see again, film critic Katie Walsh. Katie, how the hell are you?
Hi, I'm good. I'm glad to be back. It's been a while, and I'm excited. Fill in the Greg shoes.
Yeah, fill in the Greg clown-sized shoes.
Yeah.
Do you remember the last movie? I should have looked this up before
It
we
was
started recording.
Amadeus.
It was the
Yes.
exact same movie we're doing tonight,
Holy
just in
crap.
a different time period.
This is your niche now.
Yeah.
coming
Yeah.
to us.
Yeah, for sure. It was Amadeus. It was a rollicking good time, and I barely remember what we talked about, but I know it was Amadeus.
Yes. Nice. Well, let's talk about what we are talking about this week, which is The Devil Wears Prada. So, Katie, how was your week and your life with The Devil Wears Prada? Overall feelings about the movie.
Oh my gosh, I have such a parasocial. I don't know if parasocial is the right word for this. I have a weird sort of meta relationship, intense relationship to this movie, because in 2006 I was living in New York City. I was a publicity assistant, a temporary PR assistant, and I was working on The Devil Wears Prada. So as I was working on the PR campaign for Devil Wears Prada, I had this really mean boss who had a white bob, and her name was Julia, and she was always calling me into her office and being like, oh, you have to make me an eyebrow appointment, but only with Antonio, and just bossing me around. I was living The Devil Wears Prada, and then I would go to the screening and be like, well, I have to set up the seats, and Anna Wintour can't sit next to Lauren Weisberger, who wrote the book Devil Wears Prada, and now I have to go to this really fancy auction with all these fashion designers, and my boss didn't tell me to wear the right outfit, so now I'm wearing the wrong outfit at the fancy auction with Donna Karan and all these people. So I watch The Devil Wears Prada now, and I'm that is me. I am she. That I am Andy Sachs.
A lot of people misuse the word meta. That might be the most appropriate use of the word I have ever heard.
And then the sequel, it's Andy's this journalist. She's in her 40s. I'm oh my God.
You should sue for them stealing your life rights.
I know. It's very weird. So it's I'm too close to it.
Yeah.
But I also have really complicated feelings about it too, because when I was rewatching The Devil Wears Prada, I always get so annoyed at Andy. I think she's kind of shitty for most of the movie. And I don't know if that's because I see something of myself, my younger self.
You're harsher on her than you would be. Yeah.
Yeah, in her, and I'm frustrated with her because I'm no, why aren't you sort of realizing what a great opportunity this is, and stop shitting on them and turning your nose up at this fashion magazine. So, but I don't know if that's just because I'm sort of dealing with my own issues. But yeah, so it's a movie that is very significant in my life, even though it's not like my favorite movie.
Right.
But it's just like very meaningful and like powerful. In
The
my
most-
or I don't know, something like that. It's weird to
Yeah,
say, but yeah,
that's
it's just
wild.
very significant.
The most famous Letterboxd review of all time is the guy who, under the movie Joker, wrote, "This happened to my buddy Eric."
Yes.
I'm gonna on my Letterboxd account. I'm gonna write, "This happened to my buddy Katie" on the Devil Wears Prada.
You have to. It's exactly the same. I was like literally living this movie as I was like working on this movie. It was so weird.
What's crazy about that is, like, I guess the obliviousness of your boss. Ryan has something he calls Jane Krakowski theory. Ryan, I'll let you explain what that is since it's yours.
Jane Krakowski theory is that because of her character on 30 Rock, she can never act like a diva actress. Like, it would be too... It would just, like, she would look like such a piece of shit. And your boss just did not put that together.
No, she had no self-reflection about it. And also she was like constantly undermining me. Like she'd be like, no, we don't need you for this. So like you can just go home. And then I'd like have to end up staying and like doing stuff anyway. And I'd be like, it would have been nice if you had just like told me I was going to stay. Also, fun fact about this is like at the same time that I was working on Prada, I was also working on the press junket for X-Men The Last Stand, the third X-Men movie directed by Brett Ratner. And that was a whole other crazy
Surrounded by cool people.
scenario. I know. I had to pack Brett Ratner's suitcase. I had to go into his hotel room and pack his suitcase as like a 23-year-old. Me and another assistant were like, oh my God, like we have to like get him on the plane. He was like, his hotel room was trashed and we had to like go. They were like, he has to get on the plane, like get in there and like get him on the stuff. And we were like, oh God, just like throwing stuff in and like just like trying to get Brett Ratner on a plane to France. So it was crazy.
I imagine his suitcase is like Ayn Rand's The Fountainhead and 2,000 Roofies.
Yeah, pretty much. He was like dating some like really young like international model at the time too. It was like very very
she know
weird.
that?
Yeah, I know, right?
I wish the first time that your boss at the time, the Devil Wears Prada,
Yeah.
I wish the first time she watched the movie, you could have sat in front of her watching her watch the movie with your arms folded and just be like,
Yes.
do you see?
It was so weird. It's like the parallels were so weird, like down to the haircut. I was like, what is going on right now? It was, it was a very strange time, and I don't think I even realized that it was like so weird, like while I was in it until maybe, afterwards I was just like, wait a second. I was just trying to survive day to day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ryan, do you have a deeply personal connection to this movie that could get you a bunch of points?
Okay, so when this movie came out, I was dating Anne Hathaway and the guy from Entourage at the same time. We were a throuple. It was awesome. No, I feel I never want to just come on this show and shit on movies, but now it's not just the movie; it's also Katie's life that I'd be shitting on. So this is super dicey.
Yeah, watch your mouth.
I was excited to watch this movie this week because I saw it once 20 years ago and remember liking it. Stock has risen so much. It got a sequel that I haven't seen yet, but I'm going to watch when I can. And I can't remember the last time we on the show did such an aggressively average movie. Watching this movie, I sort of get how the iconic things became iconic, which is mostly Miranda Priestly, Meryl Streep's performance. But the movie around it, like what it reminded me of with the iconic stuff, but also the average, is Coyote Ugly. This movie is on the level of Coyote Ugly.
Wow.
There are
movie
certain
I do not
scenes
think is average.
So you're saying it's a masterpiece.
It's brilliant. It is simply brilliant. Yeah, I didn't have a good week, Mike.
That's crazy. I think I'm somewhere in between you guys on emotions. Not in feeling. I also have no life connection to this film. I think I saw it around when it came out. I remember, and I was trying to look up if I was right. I remember it being pitched or talked about like it was a rom-com, but that might have been like the idiot 20-year-olds I was around. And I remember when I finally saw it, I was like, this is not a rom-com. This is just like a career movie for women that guys get all the time. And again, I can't, it's like the haze of time of 20 years. But it looks like critically nobody was talking about it like it was a rom-com. I just feel like the advertising and the dummies conversation was that, and they were wrong as hell. Though I do love a rom-com. There are moments of genius, but I get, Ryan, I get what you're saying. I do think there's some things like, and not only that they like hacked the shit out of the movie and editing their stuff, there's something the director said he never saw. Like a scene that ended up in the movie is like, oh, I didn't like, the editor put a lot of stuff together. And, which, hell yeah, man, sure. But I think that like I get why it feels disjointed, and there's it feels like there's some scenes or storylines the film doesn't care about. So why would you keep it in there? But they're like, I don't know, just let it play. So we're gonna get into all of it in the nitty gritty, and this is gonna be a good old time at the movies. In 2006, The Devil Wears Prada was seen as counter-programming to Superman Returns. While the superhero flick won the box office that weekend, Devil Wears Prada cleaned up in cultural impact because people barely remember Brandon Routh ever played Superman. Adapted from Lauren Weisberger's Romana Clough, a word I've said for the first time right now out loud, about her time as Anna Wintour's assistant, it was loved by audiences and well-liked by critics, who did right away, helpfully, that this is a chick flick sentiment. Not that there's anything wrong with being a chick flick aside. That's shallow ignorance. But The Devil Wears Prada, I'd say, is closer to Wall Street than 13 Going on 30. An exploration about the insidious allure of corporate ambitions. The difference is that Wall Street seems to know Gordon Gekko is the villain. And then Wall Street had to watch the dumbest minds of a generation put greed is good on their LinkedIn profiles anyway. But The Devil Wears Prada is more nuanced in its portrayal of the elder magnetic force, except now everyone has seemingly ended up on Miranda's side. 20 years later, does The Devil Wears Prada feel feminist, or does it remain a beacon of post-feminism alongside Legally Blonde and Bridget Jones' Diary? What do we think it was intended to be, and what did it actually turn out to be? Katie, we'll start with you.
On all of those questions.
Pick one.
It's interesting to think about this as like a feminist movie or not. I think the thing that bothers me the most about this movie, and that I wish they had like taken out of the sequel as well, is the fat shaming. Like the way they fat shame Anne Hathaway is crazy.
One of the
legendarily obese Anne Hathaway.
And like even Stanley Tucci like nicknames her 6 because she's a size 6, and that nickname persists into the sequel. And of course, like it was the early 2000s. It was like, that was the culture of the time, but it just seems so like, I don't know, that is a huge miss for me.
Yeah.
In that movie, it really like rankles me. And so that is like it's kind of funny, I think, like when Emily Blunt's character is sort of like talking about like because she's so over the top. But everyone else doing it is like kind of really, really bothers me. And, it is kind of an interesting thing because it's like, can a woman have it all? Like, can she have a boyfriend and a career? And in the sequel, it's sort of like, not really.
Which that doesn't surprise me, because I'd say in this movie, it says not really. And also,
right.
If you deign to have a personal life, you're a fucking idiot.
Right. And it is sort of like pitting women against each other and... like the sort of mind games that women play with each other in social dynamics, and the way that Miranda Priestly sort of is like hot and cold or like manipulative with Andy, and it's like, okay, are all female bosses as undermining and unsupportive, and is there room for someone to like be a mentor, because like the only mentor she really finds is in Stanley Tucci, so I don't think it necessarily...
Who is the creator of the 6 nickname.
Right.
Her mentor is the one who...
I did not remember what a piece of shit he was for most of the movie.
Yeah.
Like, he's also brutal.
Yeah.
I think that bringing up Emily Blunt is an important point, because I think she works the best in the movie still, because she's broader and she's more pointed and more comedic. And now she can have that corner all to herself in the movie of the rude shit. But when you add Miranda and Nigel, Stanley Tucci, and then, all the stuff that everybody else talks about in her home life and work life, everyone is like this. Not just hit the fat phobic thing so hard,
yeah,
but it's not just that it's been 20 years. It's that this script doesn't know another gear, at least when the comedy comes in. And so what it's telling us is that, like, it's not just, hard to live. It's not just hard to be fat, or because I don't know what a 6 is, but if Anne Hathaway is, it looks pretty good to me. It's just, this is factual. This is not a personality thing. This is just the way everything and everyone works.
Right. Even at no point does anybody go, you're not fat. And
Right.
she's not like, look in the mirror. Like it's, and also, I also don't know sizes, Ryan. I don't see that there's a huge difference between her and all the people who are around her who are tearing her down about size.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then at the end, I noticed at this time on this rewatch, he says they're in Paris and they cheers, and Stanley Tucci says something to her about 6, and then she goes 4, so she's like saying like she dropped down. So like a 6
Which was
is
true,
pretty
I read.
skinny.
She was a 6 at the beginning of the movie, and she was in real life a 4 in that scene. And her response to that is just still this is all fun.
Right.
I'm going to buy into it and brag about my 4 instead of saying, I'm going to throw my champagne in your face, you fucking asshole.
Right. We're talking about anybody's weight, I think, is we now know is dicey, but people still do it. But now it's like couched in concern. I'm so concerned about these people I don't know, which I'm not saying you can't be concerned about the people, but like we've seen it with the Wicked 2 tour, right?
Yeah.
Is all the women in that, they're like, people are like, oh, like, and you get the negging them, but then you also get the people who are saying, no, but I'm concerned, but can't fucking stop talking about other people's bodies. How is there just a way to be like, everybody shut the fuck up?
Yeah.
Just shut up.
Right. No, it's really crazy that they just sort of like normalize it, and maybe that's just like the fashion industry that they're trying to comment on, but I don't know. I've never been in a workplace where people were talking about other people's weights and clothing sizes like this.
And even if you are trying to portray a thing, I would like the movie, and it doesn't have to be lecture-y, right? It doesn't have to be didactic, but like have a take. Because right now it seems like the movie's take is like, yep.
It has all takes, and that's what sort of makes this conversation so hard. Is like anytime we argue that it's feminist or post-feminist or even misogynist, there's another scene that will pop up that goes against it. But like Miranda as a character, and her name was highest on the poster, right? And she's the one who got nominated for Best Actress. But she's less of a character and more of like a Coen Brothers, villain that's like almost more of a force of nature. Yeah, just flipping the coin. And just watching her, where we're supposed to feel bad for her because she's worried about her kids getting dragged through the mud, or her kids reading the articles about her divorce, right? Which I don't even know if I buy that she's even concerned with that. And then 10 minutes later, Miranda's telling Andy, this is the life that everybody wants. And she believes that part for sure. Right. Like there's no arcing. There's no like her doing any sort of thinking about anything. It's just she is this constant tornado of cliches and boss bitches.
The arguable arc is that she's mean to Andy, but then does write a letter of recommendation for her. But if you take a step back and think about everything we do know, she clearly did that for Nigel throughout a lot of his life, but is still fucking him over.
Right.
So at no point, she only likes people, and there's probably a better word for it, that she can use and who are of use to her. And so she respects people who can like sort of try to go toe to hoe, but she doesn't actually respect anybody. And I guess I like that they tried to make her vulnerable, that it shows that she has human emotions sometimes. I just wish that Andy or somebody else would have called her on her shit of like, oh, you're cold and shitty all the time and blow everybody off, and now it's so sad that somebody might not want to be with you anymore.
Right.
What?
I think the thing with Miranda is, like she's a shitty person, and she, what I really like about her is like the nuance of her portrayal. Like she's evil to work for, but she is usually correct in her work. Like the whole Cerulean monologue and the way that she like is an expert in her field. Like you're like, well, like she's like the thing that's kind of shitty about Andy is she like fundamentally comes in and like doesn't respect what they do. And she's like, this isn't serious journalism. And obviously Miranda schools her in that. So I think that like what I appreciate about Miranda as a character is like her expertise, her competency, her knowledge in her field. And I think when Andy, like the relationship between them is like Miranda sort of realizes that Andy is like smart and capable, and like Andy realizes that she's a human being, and like that's kind of as close as they're going to get. And then they're going to go their separate ways, but they've maybe changed each other. And I mean, Andy's for sure changed by the end of the movie. But, and then it is so weird though that like in the sequel, and I know we're not talking about the sequel, but like.
But please do. I know
like,
nothing about it.
Andy comes back to Runway after being this like award-winning journalist, and Miranda's like still shitty to her.
But like that's the only way she knows. Like
right.
You hear these stories about maybe Lorne Michaels, who is
right.
I think much funnier than Miranda Priestly probably, but the way, and Lorne Michaels is not even close to how problematic a lot of these bosses have been over the last 20 years. But right. they rule with fear, even though she's so talented. Miranda's so talented and so right. She is so bad with people, and she has to rule with fear. One of the major things that's changed over the last 20 years is that people in the workforce, like you shouldn't have a shitty attitude like Andy does in the first like half of the movie.
Right.
But you also, this is not your family, and this is not your life. Like there used to be this thing of like job is your everything, and that just wasn't the case with Andy. That's so much more acceptable now. Back then, apparently, you would just get called fat. If you like, you were not 100% on board.
Yeah, I think that like it does represent this like toxic boss thing really well, and people who did rule with fear, like whether or not it's like a Scott Rudin type who was like
that's who I was thinking, yeah.
throwing phones at people.
When Nigel loses the promotion, or he was going to take over, like become head of a different fashion house, and if you haven't seen the movie, it's just Nigel loses a promotion because Miranda fucks him over, and he says she'll find a way to pay me back in her own way. Sir, you're in a cult.
Yeah.
Your life is over. Like you're 50 or so. You need to start thinking about yourself. For you to react like that, you have a cult leader.
And it's a
Andy
cult of
says,
personality.
Yeah, for sure. And Andy says, like, "Are you sure about that?" He goes, "I have to believe it." Like he knows, like he's gone all in and can't. And seemingly the whole world is ruled by this person. The whole fashion world.
After watching this movie, I almost watched Jules and Julia just to watch the two of them together be in love and like a perfect marriage, and to just rinse my eyes out of this toxicity.
Right. Yeah.
Comparing, and I don't know about you guys, I haven't seen these other two movies in a long time, but comparing it to Legally Blonde or Bridget Jones' Diary, how do we think this stacks up if we're just looking at it from that feminism or post-feminist lens? If somebody smarter than me wants to explain to me what post-feminist means, I would love that as well.
Okay, so post-feminism is the idea that feminism accomplished what it needed to accomplish, and now we can just like think about fun, frivolous things. So it's sort of like a myth because women don't have equal rights as men. But it's sort of like
I love when a movement is just declared over. Like somebody just plants a flag. It's like, okay, we did it, everybody. Like.
Yeah. So I would say like Sex and the City is like a really good example of post-feminist text, because instead of women because they're like, okay, we have achieved equality with men. Like we can fuck like men. We can date like men. We, we can do whatever we want. And so what we're going to concern ourselves with is like dating and romance and shoes and shopping. So I would say like Sex and the City is like the ultimate post-feminist text. And then, like, I would say feminism came back in, like, the 2010s, like, 2013-ish, like, Obama era. I feel like in the 2000s, until this Obama era sort of, like, resurgence, like, Beyonce feminism kind of thing, feminist was kind of a, like, uncool word.
F-word.
Right. Because it meant, like, narc, like, stick in the mud, like...
Yeah. And especially like the early 2000s, like this era of when this movie came out, like they would never use the word feminist because it was like Maxim and Girls Gone Wild and like Sex and the City and all this stuff where it was like that time period when I look back on it, it was so insane. Spike TV, like that kind of thing. Like
the world reeked of Axe body spray.
Yeah, it was
the
Axe
other part
body
that
spray.
I think of with post-feminism, and I think that Legally Blonde is a really good choice here, is that during feminism, you have to make all your decisions based on the movement, right? Like we have to move us all forward. And post-feminism is like, I can now make choices for myself, for me to get a leg up. And this movie's so crazy because all Andy says is, it wasn't my choice. It wasn't my choice. They all were your choices.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure if she ever even figures that out. So it's like it's attempting to be post-feminism and getting that wrong as well.
Yeah. And I think Legally Blonde is feminist. Because, sorry, what is her name again?
Elle Woods.
Elle Woods. God, how did I forget that? Like, and it's interesting because I know the writer of Legally Blonde, and she also wrote The House Bunny, and I think The House Bunny is like a very feminist text as well, because both of these characters, Elle and Anna Faris's character in The House Bunny, are like, they're inherently kind people, and they like reach out to others and like kind of try to like lift up others up when they are, you know, trying to better themselves as well. And I'm not saying that like that's what feminism does, but like I think feminism is like trying to be inclusive. Like
Right.
like liberation for women is liberation for everyone. Like liberation for women is liberation for men. It's liberation for people of color and like queer people and all this stuff. So it's like we want equal rights for everyone.
Right.
And I think people get that wrong, and they think feminism is misandry, which is like anti-men. But
Right.
I do think like Elle Woods, House Bunny, like these movies are about like women working as like a collective and like coming
Right.
together and like lifting each other up. Because Elle is like so inherently wanting to help other people. Like she even reaches out to the Selma Blair character and like befriends her and helps her and like kind of like decenters the man from her life, and in doing so achieves the career and the relationship that she wants, and you know, relies on her knowledge, her like feminine knowledge, to excel in the courtroom. So I do think those movies, and they also like present these blonde bimbo stereotypes as like smart, kind, capable, loving people who are like
Right.
smart in their own way. And I think that like Prada it's cutthroat, it's competitive. It's like these women kind of like stepping on each other, you know, and at the end, like, it's like everyone kind of reaches like a detente, like Emily Blunt is like, you know, she begrudgingly sort of like is like, yes, I accept you and love you now. And, you know, Miranda is like, you know, giving her like a cold, like little nod of acknowledgement. And like, that's all the, you know, satisfaction that you're going to get out
Right.
of that relationship.
And all those moments feel like they had to happen because the credits are about to start, not because the characters actually went through or had conversations that made it make sense for them to start liking each other.
That's,
Yeah.
I mean, one of the reasons why I think the movie works so well and works for so many people is because of how classically structured the screenplay is, and it will go to the part that the screenplay needs to be at without necessarily earning it, just so we feel like we're on the right part of the roller coaster
Right.
the whole time.
Completely,
I really
yeah,
like
yeah.
the screenwriter. I've heard her talk on a million podcasts. She is the co-creator of Crazy Ex-Girlfriend, so for that, she will always have a special place in my heart.
Word.
But I think that there is a lot of like classically formatted, you know, this is the paradigm that you need to hit at minute 10, minute 22 throughout this entire thing.
Yeah. And people like convention, and they like, you know, knowing where it's going to go. It's like there's something very comforting about that.
And Mike, I think that's why that rom-com thing was shouted out so much earlier, is that like if you think about the definition of romantic comedy, this is not that, right? There is no romance and barely any comedy. But I think that the feel of it, the montages, the way it's shot, the needle drops all at the right spot, it like that type of comedy that like isn't ever like super laugh out loud funny, but it always keeps you with a smile on your face. That's all rom-commy, you know?
Right.
Yeah, the
Wow.
cinematographer, Florian Ballhaus, he basically like only shoots rom-coms. And he's actually the son of Michael Ballhaus, who's like an iconic German cinematographer who did like all the Fassbinder movies, and he did a bunch of Scorsese movies like Goodfellas and The Departed, and like worked with him a lot. So, but it's interesting how his son Florian is like only does rom-coms.
But it's interesting though, like if you watch this movie and you know you don't think it's up to snuff as far as what a movie should look like, watch modern day Netflix rom-coms.
Oh, for sure.
Oh, for sure.
Which are like closer to shitty TV And then you watch this movie and you're like, oh no, I get it. I get all of the craft that went into this movie.
I think this movie like is really well made, but it's like that kind of invisible like style where you don't want to be noticing it. But I think like the camera blocking is really good, and like there's a real fluidity and like forward momentum to it, like whether they're doing like a walk and talk or a montage or, you know, Andy on the street and her fashions. Like I think that, you know, it's that kind of thing where you're not going to notice the style until you watch a Netflix rom-com, and then you're like, wait, this is like actually amazing.
Also, like, they were in Paris wearing those clothes. That was not shot on the volume, which it will be from here on out. No one's ever going to go to Paris to do this again.
Yeah.
All right, we got to take the quick as it breaks. When we come back, talk about our friend Annie's career. All right, as we do from time to time, we're going to look at one of the main actors' entire oeuvre and determine what the best or most standout performance in their whole career is. And there's a lot to talk about in this movie, to the point that Anne Hathaway might be overshadowed, which feels like her whole career. I'm going to put it out there. I love Anne Hathaway. I think she's a great actress. I think she's our generation's Julia Roberts. She fucking rules in any genre and does not get enough love.
She was the 9th choice for this movie.
Yeah?
She was?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and she had to fight like crazy to get it. I think, Mike, part of me and your, like, there was a dip in her career. Not even like commercially, but like attitude towards her.
Yeah.
And I think the reason that Mike, me, and you stayed with her is because a lot of the hate was because she's so drama kid. And that's just not a thing that bothers us. It's a thing that actually turns us on. So
Couldn't be something we're bothered by. We're friends with each other.
I feel like people have, you know, they hated on her because she like seemed like she was trying too hard and she was too earnest and too sincere, and like, I don't know, for some reason that is like people like to, it's like, oh, you want this and you tried hard and you succeeded, and like now we have to like bring you down a peg,
Right.
You know, for doing the thing that you have always dreamed of doing.
You obviously love it and are very sincere about how you worked hard to get there. Fuck you forever.
Right.
Also,
exactly.
while we're hating you, we can see that you're talented on every single level. Still, get the fuck out of here.
She's insane. Like, her talent is out of this world.
Yeah. Well, so, all right, I'm glad that this show celebrates her, because otherwise points would start being docked. Let's start off. We are going to do it as a bracket, as all things important should be done.
Okay.
So, we're going to go for... your number one seed is Mia Thermopolis from The Princess Diaries, going up against Ella from Ella Enchanted.
Okay, so what are we doing? We're picking who we want?
We're arguing which one encapsulates her more.
I wonder if there's no years on here, but this is the start of her career, and I wonder with these two back to back, is she nervous about getting typecast? Like, this is, in the princess sort of tween or tween minus realm. Is she already worried about not being taken seriously as like the actress she becomes?
Yeah,
I
don't know.
A lot of people's careers started that way.
I'm going to argue that Mia Thermopolis is the more iconic role. But I also never saw Ella Enchanted. I was in college when that movie came out. I was a little too old for it. Yeah, I don't know. I think I would just associate her more with that role. And she's with iconic
Julie Andrews.
Yeah, Julie Andrews. So that's my pick for this bracket, but
this movie is sort of Devil Wears Prada 2, not the sequel, but also in that we get to see the two types, the dressed down, messy hair, so therefore
yeah, makeover.
Ugly. Yeah, the makeover into the swan. But yeah, this I think this role is super iconic.
I concur. So Mia Thermopolis moves on. Next up is Allison Lang from Havoc, going up against Lorene. What a good name, Lorene Newsom in Brokeback Mountain. Hey guys, what's Havoc?
I was gonna say the same thing.
Okay, so maybe you guys don't watch movies in the same way I do, but this is like the I'm not going to be typecast, because we know about Brokeback, but in Havoc she plays like this girl who high school girl that goes to the wrong side of the tracks and starts hanging out with very dangerous like gang members and gets in trouble and does drugs and has sex and all this kind of stuff. So sort of her like I'm not a kid anymore despite playing a high school student movie.
Gotcha. Her take on like 13.
Yes, exactly.
I'm going to say, and normally as a host I don't talk first, but the fact that both myself and Katie went, what is that? It probably shouldn't move on unless, Ryan, you really want to try to go to the mattresses for it.
No, we're fighting for the most iconic role. It, by definition, can't be if 2/3 of America, as represented by the three of us, don't know what it is.
I mean, Brokeback Mountain is just so iconic. And also, I think that was another one where she was like, I'm doing a serious drama. She was doing sex scenes. Like, and that movie is just so enduring.
Yeah, nude scenes in both of these after being Ella and Mia.
Oh.
So.
Okay.
Oh, that is clearly her Miley Cyrus's first album performing. Yeah, for sure. I'm not your Disney kid no more.
Yeah.
Next up, the reason for the season, Andy Sachs in The Devil Wears Prada, going against Jane Austen in Becoming Jane.
I mean, it's got to be Andy. Yeah. If we're talking iconic.
There's no Becoming Jane 2.
I can see Andy like having some issues further down the bracket just because the movie's so Miranda. But here, yes. Let's keep Austen weird and out of this bracket.
I don't remember that movie existing.
Doing my research for this, she was in a shit ton of movies. Like, that girl works. And she'll take breaks. And then this year, she's got 5 movies coming out. So this could happen a lot in this bracket.
This year?
This 2026, she's got 4 or 5 movies coming out.
That's crazy.
Work.
She also is pregnant at 43. Mm-hmm. What?
Wow.
Yeah.
She really can do it all.
She can do it all. She is the real feminist icon here.
Yeah. We're not going to see any woman be able to do it all in any movie until we get the Anne Hathaway biopic starring Anne Hathaway.
Wasn't there a Sarah Jessica Parker movie like a decade ago basically called She Can Do It All? Or like, How Does She Do It All? Like,
How Does She Do It?
Yeah.
Yeah. I've never seen that, I don't think.
All right.
I haven't figured it out yet.
How to do it all?
Yeah.
Or how she does it all?
How she does it, how to do it.
Well, that's why I have that tattoo, WWSJPD. And so I just follow her and whatever she does.
Mm-hmm. That's smart.
Our next battle is Agent 99 from Get Smart versus Kim Buckman in Rachel Getting Married. A movie that not last week did I recommend everybody listening should go watch.
It has to be Rachel Getting Married. I love that movie so much.
Yes.
I forgot Get Smart was a movie until not but 2 seconds ago.
With Steve Carell.
Steve Carell, the era of trying to make him a leading man. I love Steve Carell, but probably not a leading man.
I bet that would be fun to revisit, or would it be bad?
I bet there's funny moments. I bet there's just like everything this era. You're like, I didn't know why a homophobic joke needed to be made here, let alone 8 times.
For sure. Thank you,
that's
2008.
comedy then.
And also, and I'm not looking this up. I'm doing no research, but I remember there was a spin-off something with 2 comedians who were very big at that time, but then completely disappeared. Does that ring a bell at all?
No.
Okay.
A spin-off from what?
Get Smart.
What? Huh.
Yeah, and if you saw them, you'd recognize their face, but you will realize you have not seen them in 15 years. I think Kim Buckman for me was, she's going to be the biggest star of her generation. Like, this is it, you know? I don't even care how well she can sing or dance. I've never been shaken to my core than, like, her toast scene.
Well, it's so cringe-inducing just thinking about that scene. When she calls herself Shiva the Destroyer, it's just like...
That's like my favorite genre of movie. Like, family gathered in a vacation spot and shit goes sideways.
All right, so that is Annie's first half of career. And so we're going to find out what the biggest role of that is, and then we'll come back later in the show to do her second half. So right now we're returning to Mia Thermopolis, the Princess of Barovia? Latveria, Shinovia.
I think it was Sokovia, right?
Sokovia?
Wasn't she Sokovia? Yeah. That's what she wrote the accords.
All those fake countries have the same pseudo-Eastern European.
Ovia.
Yeah.
Ovias. Going up against Lorene Newsom from Brokeback Mountain.
I'm going Mia because she's the lead. And
Yeah, Lorene's just not in it enough.
right.
All right, Mia moves on. Next up, it's Andy Sachs from Devil Wears Prada versus Kim Buckman of Rachel Getting Married, which cringed us all out in a good way.
I'm going Kim here. I think that, like, even though she's not Rachel, and I think everybody got that confused, they just called her Rachel because she's on the poster, but it's her movie, you know?
I'm like tempted to go that way too because I think it was like one of those performances where you were like, oh, she's like so like even though she had her Havoc, Brokeback Mountain, I'm a woman now performances, like that was a real, this is an actor performance.
Right.
And while I do think Andy Sachs is iconic, I don't know. I feel like that's just like I prefer that movie and that performance. So I don't know. I guess I'll go with that.
And Andy's like iconic for delivering us Miranda, not for...
Yeah, true.
Like, I guess the one iconic Andy line is, the Chanel boots, yeah.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
there's nothing else that you
It's
can't, like,
true.
say a line and people would be like, that's Andy.
Right.
Can we go back and have you do your Anne Hathaway with the most iconic line of all the movies we talked about, please?
Sure. Give me the line and I'll do it. Are you
So the
telling me
first
I
one
have a pitch perfect Anne Hathaway?
Pitch perfect. The first one is Mia saying, God, I guess I'll go to write all these Princess Diaries.
Kim Buckman moves on. So we have Mia Thermopolis going up against Kim Buckman.
I mean, I think we're all going to go Kim, right? We love this movie.
I don't know, man. Just the Princess Diaries is such a big deal to so many,
It
like,
is.
honestly, generations at this point.
And it was her breakout.
And it was her
Right.
breakout.
All right.
Like, I honestly don't know if she was in a movie before this movie. Like, her first movie was a smash.
Yeah. I concede. It's the most
Yeah.
like emblematic of the first half of her career.
Right.
I think so. And where Kim is showing what's about to come.
Yeah, true.
All right. Mia Thermopolis,
apparently-
you are the first half of Andy's career character. What, Ryan?
Apparently what's about to come is Mike's vomit every time he thinks about Rachel getting married.
One of my favorite movies of all time. It's just, it gets under my skin so hard. We are going to take the quickest of breaks, and when we come back, more Devil Wears Prada. Taste buds, we sort of touched upon this in the first segment, but let's dig in more. The movie seems to believe, the actual movie, not just the characters, that great art can only happen if the people making it are awful and abusive. The Cerulean speech is essentially the film's justification for that. Does the speech work? Yes or no? And explain. Ryan, start with you.
I think that speech works. I really do. And I feel like the movie is then trying to copy the vibe of that speech for the rest of it. I think that I can't believe how many times Andy is asked, or it's like they say to her, "You still don't get it, do you?" I guess not. Then, like, yes, fashion is
Right.
important, but like, she's always making some look where somebody gets to then dress her down instead of dress her up, which I thought was the job, and just like say, "I can't believe you don't think fashion is that big of a deal." The Cerulean speech works, but I feel like in every other scene, people are taking opportunities just to smack somebody. That's like the perk of the job.
Yeah, the Cerulean speech is really like a work of genius in like the way that it explains like why something that, you know, other people would consider frivolous is like actually important culture. And I think that that's like part of my job is being like, why do movies matter? Like what, you know, what we all do is like trying to explain like why like entertainment is like an important reflection of culture and it's like what people consume. But yeah, I don't know. I think that like this movie really reflects the kind of like millennial hustle grind culture that has like infected all of us. And that we should, you know, be working harder than everyone and, you know, missing our loved ones' birthday parties and like sacrificing ourselves in order for, like there are times where, in my work, I'll have to be like, it's just movies, or, it's not like, there's a saying that a lot of publicists say, which is like, it's PR, not ER. So where you just kind of have to like check yourself a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't think this movie or the characters in this movie are able to like say that or like let that land with them, that like it's like in order for them to be still participating in this cult, as we've established Runway Magazine is, they have to think this is the most important thing they're doing. And Andy's sort of the only one who isn't in the cult, but like eventually kind of joins and then leaves. And
so they take that to this extreme that like is hopefully dying, whereas it doesn't matter how good you are at your job. You can be phenomenal, but if you don't buy in, it's not going to work out for you. Like if you don't treat us like with all that we deserve, that we feel like we deserve, Andy, there was a learning curve, as there is with starting any new job, but then she got pretty good. She's very smart. She's very capable, but it doesn't matter if you're not like bending a knee and kissing a ring the entire time.
Especially, there's no training. This is the only job I've ever seen or heard of where there's zero training on here. If you don't know already, people think you're an idiot. No job is like that. No job should be like that. And I get Miranda's Cerulean speech because it is to Andy and also to anybody, the audience, that maybe doesn't think fashion is high art, which it is, and it there's unseen hands controlling everything we do. But a counterpoint to that that I don't agree with or like, and it's hard because it's Stanley Tucci, and I normally like everything that guy says. He says to us, she's not actually trying, she's just whining. At this point, she's doing her job pretty well and still getting shit on. What the fuck does he mean there? And is he right?
Yeah, that's a good point. Like, no one is ever really giving, I mean, even though Andy is like very annoying at times, like no one's ever giving her credit, including her fucking friends.
Yes.
Boyfriend.
But like, let's look at Emily Blunt too, who seems to be good at her job. But like when she gets sick, that's not just an opportunity to make fun of her, but literally push her down the totem pole. Like,
yeah,
not literally. There's no actually.
Her.
But yeah, she's essentially demoted just because she deigned to not be healthy at whatever event that was.
Right.
This is all illegal, right? Like at a certain point, she's like, "I get 20 minutes for lunch, you get 15." That's illegal. You can't go pee. That's illegal.
Go pee. That's illegal. Yeah.
Well, this is New York. I don't know if the rules are different there.
It's a different world. It's just better there. It stinks like piss and looks like trash.
Also, why did Emily Blunt not say "I'm walking here" to that car that hit her? I thought that's how you got around things in New York.
I'm flying through the air right now here.
That's when the rom-com really kicked up. Like,
yeah,
Emily Blunt flew up in the air like my eyes did as well.
Does the movie just not have this on its mind? Like, 20 years later, we know what toxic bosses are like. We're no longer like, ha, 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 or, yes, that's just how it is. It should be like that. You got to pay your dues. That the toxic boss is the creative visionary. The film just doesn't interrogate it. Is that asking too much from the film?
You know, it's so funny because, like, the book that this is based on was written by a real Anna Wintour assistant and was like pretty much like slamming her as a boss, right. To the point where like those two people don't talk anymore, even though, and I think Anna Wintour was like pretty skeptical of the first movie when it came out, and then in the second one, it's like all the fashion people are in it. And like Anna Wintour, I think, like makes an appearance and stuff. And so everyone.
I read the original title of the book was "The Wintour of My Discontent."
Wait, are you serious? Or are you making a joke?
I'm not. Yeah, I'm full of shit.
I can never tell. But I think the book is. I haven't read it since it came out, so 20 years ago. But the book is way more critical of this workplace, and because I think the movie like makes Miranda kind of the character that we like the most because she has the cool one-liners and the cool like she's become the memes, the things that we remember, the that's all and all this stuff, like we like her more. We like sort of admire her more. And I think the movie is like not critical. I think the movie is quite ambivalent because it's oh, well, Andy, like this is really toxic, but like Andy like learned something and now she's like moving on. But it's like she's a stronger person for it. And like you hope that's what you get out of a bad workplace relationship. But like things just continue. There's no like structural change.
Mm-hmm.
Magic, you mentioned Wolf of Wall Street earlier, right?
I read just OG Wall Street, but
well,
but
okay.
Wolf of Wall Street is kind of the same thing, where it's like it's a satire, it's a critical, but like the audiences don't think that.
Yeah,
the audiences watch that movie
audiences
poorly.
are dumb.
Yeah.
I think sorry, Ryan, you were gonna go off on the Wolf of Wall Street. Go.
Well, I think that there's an argument to be made that Scorsese was in the Wolf of Wall Street, like. He had a lot of stuff to say, and he was trying to bring all this down. I know that the movie has been watched poorly, and I'm trying not to slag it for that. But yeah, I think that like this is another case, just based on hearing about the book, just listening to what Katie says, because I don't know how to read, that you missed the entire point, and you skimmed off just the glitzy thing that attracts everyone, that doesn't understand what it is. You blew it. Like you had this opportunity to pull the curtain back, and you blew it.
That's one of the things I think is smart about the movie itself is you see the allure so hard. There's other movies. I watched Wall Street this week because it's been so long, and at no point do I see the allure of Gordon Gekko. It's scuzzy right away. It all feels gross.
But you're like a generation and a half behind the people who did,
There's that as well. But this, like, it's shot in a way where it is beautiful. You get to see all the real, like, hundreds of thousands of dollars of clothes out there. It is zippy, and it could have been used so smart to draw you in and then have that hard turn of, like, you thought that was cool, idiot? And it just doesn't it just doesn't do that turn hard enough. Versus, like, Fight Club, where we've gone up and down on this show about where we were like, oh, Brad Pitt theory, Fincher just fell too in love with that character, so he lost the plot, and that's not true. We've decided. We think, for the most part, it's still just people. The viewers lost the plot, but this, I do think they fell so in love with Streep's Miranda.
Yeah,
and they went, yeah, she's right no matter what.
I think you make a really interesting point about like the kinds of turns that happen in the film, because like what it starts out as very shitty and bad. And then the turn is, oh, wait, I love this. I got a makeover. I am now hanging out with, like, hot guys everywhere and going to Paris. And then, like, it should be more, like, intoxicating at first, and then it turns bad. Like, they should switch it. It's almost like maybe Lauren Weisberger was like, I love Vogue. I wanted to work here forever. Like, this is my dream job. Like, not coming as an idealistic journalist. I mean, I can't remember what her arc was. I have not read the book in a very long time, but like, that would be more interesting. Oh my God, I want this so badly. Like this, you're my icon. The Emily Blunt character. Have it follow Emily
have
Blunt.
That be,
and then be like, oh my God, my boss just fucked me over. I'm sick. I got hit by a car. I can't go to Paris. Like,
I'm sick and I got hit by New York is crazy. That's why that line I brought up earlier of Miranda saying to Andy, like, don't be silly. This is the life that everybody wants. That comes with like 20 minutes left. That should come 20 minutes in.
Yes.
And then the rest of the movie explores what that line means. But to build up the entire movie, and then that's close to where we're landing with the whole thing.
Yeah. It should be swapped.
And there's an argument, and we'll get into Nate and the Friends later, but I think there's an argument that maybe in your 20s it is when you should be focused on your career. And maybe don't treat the people who love you like shit, but it's okay to focus on yourself and figure out like who you are and what you went out of this world. But I think the problem is the movie starts a lot of things and then gets distracted. Like, I don't know if there's actually coherent thoughts that carry from the beginning to the end of the movie.
Right.
I had a thought too that like, because I know with both movies, with the first one and the second one, Meryl was like, I don't know if this is enough money. I don't know if this is right for me. But I wonder if she had a hand in, like, if I'm going to do this, I want to kick ass.
Yeah.
Like, so I'm basing that on nothing, but just like inarguably, she turned it into an iconic character.
Yeah.
And all of our little bullshit around this, like, doesn't mean anything to anybody else because that's Miranda Priestly, you know?
Yeah.
Well, I think we did it. So we're going to take the quick breaks, and when we come back to Hathaway's career. And now we return to Annie's career as a full adult doing all kinds of projects, almost seemingly trying to figure out still, what's my niche?
Well, why does she need a niche, Mike? She can have it all. Like, why can't she just do everything?
She can do it all. She should have been in that movie. Your number 2 seed is Maggie Murdock from Love and Other Drugs, a movie I will go to the mat for and say is underrated and should have gotten the love fucking Silver Linings Playbook got, a movie I hate. It's going against 15th seed Selena in The Dark Knight Rises.
I barely remember her in that movie.
She's Catwoman.
Yes, that part I figured. She looks good on that bike.
She looks good on the bike. That's all I remember.
But like, Love and Other Drugs was, and I don't think it was that big of a hit, but it was Anne and Jake, and this is our future, right? Like, this is the future of Hollywood.
That was such an iconic trailer. Like, for some reason, I just like remember seeing the trailer all the time. Why did I see the trailer all the time? But yeah, no, that felt very daring, and I like your take that it's better than Silver Linings Playbook. I also don't really like Silver Linings Playbook, but I'm a hater of David O. Russell.
Oh, you're getting points just for saying
that.
that.
That was
Fuck that guy forever.
not Irish, by the way.
He's
not.
not.
And that's not okay.
Yeah, I just thought David O. Russell. That's a classic Irish name, but turns out he is not.
Russell.
What does the O stand for?
Oh, well, we can find out.
Oregon.
Orangutan.
Otis.
So Maggie moves on?
Yeah, let's say Maggie.
Yeah.
Yes.
I always forget Anne Hathaway's been in Batman movies anyway.
I do think she was good in it. There's just so little good in that movie.
It's Dark Knight Rises, right? I don't like Rises. Blech.
Yeah.
I would say that if you were asked to name Catwoman, you'd probably say Michelle Pfeiffer, Zoe Kravitz, and then stop for a minute. Like,
right.
There's just other.
You'd say Halle Berry before you'd say Anne Hathaway.
Yes, 100%.
Okay. You guys love basketball movies.
It's David Owen Russell, if anyone cares.
Owen. He's Owen me my money back after Silver Linings Playbook.
Period.
Next battle, Fontaine and Les Mis going up against Brand in Interstellar. Now,
I mean, it has to be Fontaine. She won an Oscar.
Let's push all of our cameras in while we talk about this role as Fontaine and Les Mis. I just, we keep shitting on Christopher Nolan in this pod, but maybe they thought that was going to be some Nolan and Hathaway were going to go, be a director-actor pair, but I don't remember her that well in this either. And Fontaine got an Oscar. Like,
she shaved her head.
She shaved her head. Every time I karaoke that song, it's her I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
Not a joke. Well, it is something that happens a lot.
You do karaoke of the song?
Oh, fuck yes.
Oh.
Ryan and I duet. We rarely talk about real life. Ryan and I duet the fuck out of that song.
Wait.
The people who I'm thinking of, number 1, Susan Boyle. Number 2 is Mike. Then number 3 is Anne Hathaway.
You guys have to invite me to the next karaoke night.
Deal.
Okay. And you have to sing it.
Fontaine moves on. Next up is Jules Osteen in The Intern versus Daphne Kluger in Ocean's 8.
Do you guys hear a lot of people still talk about The Intern? I can't tell if that stock is moving up or not.
People like it, for sure.
It feels like a thing I hate in the modern era, all stock rises in movies. Like, nothing is just allowed to be... It's either forgotten or people are like, wasn't it actually good? And you're like, no, sometimes stuff was just bad and we can move on with our lives.
Revisit.
I
Always
like
revisit.
The Intern. I don't think I've seen it since 2015, but I like it. Ocean's 8 was such a big comeback for her.
Yeah. Was that post-baby too? Is that why the break was so long?
I don't remember why the break was so long. It was like after like Interstellar and Les Mis, and I don't know, but yeah, Ocean's 8 was definitely like maybe she was having kids. I'm not sure, but
I know what it was a break from. And
Yeah.
Magic, this should have been put in the bracket. Her performance as co-host of the Oscars with James Franco. Do you guys remember that
wow,
fucking debacle?
that was a disaster. And didn't like James Franco just like stop like halfway through?
Yeah. I think he smoked a ton of Pineapple Express and just froze.
Oh my god, that would be a fun rewatch.
All right, next bracket, Oscar hosts, and we're gonna watch all of the Oscars.
I am down. I am down.
Probably not a bracket. Probably a new podcast we have to start.
Yeah.
To answer the question, was the ceremony ever good?
Come on, Mike. Come on. It's good every
course
year
not.
in its own way. For this, I think I'm going with the intern. I think that she wasn't even part of the 8, right? She was the
Was she Andy
Target?
Garcia?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't remember, so I will also go with the intern.
I do think that gets more chatter online. I'm just waiting for the Interniverse to open up and we see Owen Wilson, Vince Vaughn, Robert De Niro, and Anne Hathaway all in the intern of the internship.
Yeah.
Wow, that was so much I had forgotten about.
You're welcome. Our final round 1 battle is Cerulean from The Idea of You versus Mother Mary from Why Ya Buggin'.
I have to admit I have not seen The Idea of You, and I didn't love Mother Mary, but I thought Anne Hathaway was so good in it, and I was also like, she could be a pop star. I want to go to her concert.
When did this come out?
Mother Mary?
Yeah.
A couple months ago.
Yeah, a couple months ago.
Okay, phew. I'm only
This was
sort of behind.
this was Michaela Cole's back-to-back. They might have come out in the same weekend. She had 2 movies come out. Like, we haven't seen her for like 5 years, and then she's in 2 movies at the same time.
Oh, that's right. She was in that Soderbergh movie,
Yes,
The
which is amazing.
Christophers. Wait,
I saw The Idea of You, and I thought it was pretty good for what it was. It
maybe
was,
I should watch that tonight.
A pop star falls in love with her, even though she's like 15, 20 years older.
Right. It's like the younger man, older woman thing.
Yeah, the Olivia Wilde story. And
Yes, it is.
So the younger man, older woman slammed together with like Notting Hill of like regular person.
Yeah.
Pop star.
exactly.
You're selling it hard, man.
Obviously, it's no Notting Hill, but I think more people remember her from like that was a kind of a comeback because everyone was talking about
was.
Anne Hathaway when that came out.
Yeah, and Mother Mary is not very good, but
Yeah,
yeah, let's go with Idea of You. I think that was more had more stickiness.
All right, Idea of You moves on. Then Maggie Murdoch from Love and Other Drugs versus Fontaine from Les Mis.
Fontaine.
Yeah, Love and Other Drugs. Congrats for moving on this far.
isn't it wild how a bracket works where you can go from one round from like this movie rules to get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
It's why I want to start doing life decisions based on bracket because I think it will truly clarify how I feel about things.
Yeah. Oh, that's really smart, actually.
I'm gonna do it. Write a book about it, and then Jim Carrey will star in that book about how I live my life via bracket.
The problem is that your first bracket is should I do this with brackets, and it's going to land on no, and then that's the end of the idea.
Done. Easy. Jules Osteen from The Intern versus Cerulean from The Idea of You.
It's hard for me to tell about the intern stock, so I'm going to go with her. I think her biggest movie of the last little bit. Not financially. I think it was like a straight to streaming release, but again,
Yeah.
she was like back in the conversation for the first time in what seemed like a long time.
I think you're right. I think Idea of You is the one.
All right, Idea of You moves on. The last battle in the semifinals, Fontaine versus Cerulean. Love when
Fontaine.
things rhyme. And it's Fontaine, clearly.
And she was also Selena, but yeah.
Whoa.
When the idea of you finally gets its honorary Oscar, then we can revisit this
Yeah.
conversation.
So your final battle for Anne Hathaway's career, and some could argue maybe it was always going to come down to these two.
Yeah.
I would not think that. But it's Mia, Thermopolis from The Princess Diaries versus Fantine from Les Miserables.
I'm leaning Fantine, but
Yeah.
Because it's career introduction versus career peak.
Yeah. But it also, like, Fantine was also, like, the beginning of her backlash.
Yeah.
That's true. But I think that she, like, weathered the storm so that now we can go back and say she was incredible in a pretty dog shit movie.
Right. She was the scapegoat for a movie that's not good.
Right. And I'll always remember, like, I remember every single shot of that quivering lip. I saw that trailer a lot too. But,
yeah.
I mean, she stole that movie.
Yeah. I think
she
that's
stole that movie like it was a loaf of bread for her children.
Very good.
I think that's correct.
You're Anne Hathaway. If you want to know Anne Hathaway, the only movie you should watch is Les Miserables. What you've actually learned through all of this is you should watch and enjoy all of it. Because every time we went, that movie's good, everybody went, but she's good in it. Like, I don't know, based on the three of us, I don't know if she's delivered a bad performance ever.
Yeah, and there's also so many other great performances of hers. Like, out there that we didn't even touch on,
One I was kind of bummed about, I get it because it was really small, but do you guys remember Colossal?
Yeah.
Where her body is in control of like a kaiju.
What?
And what's life like that? Yeah.
That was like a weird movie that kind of it had some attention, but like kind of didn't break through to the mainstream. But like everyone was like, hey, this movie's like really great.
Yeah.
I also just want to shout out the movie Eileen, which came out a few years ago, which is like a really dark, like lesbian noir, really fucked up movie, but she's fantastic in it. It's like 1950s.
I noted with interest, Mike, that you left off Serenity.
Oh,
do you guys remember that movie?
I love that movie.
Do you?
The not Firefly Serenity. I just never see it because it confuses me.
It is so dumb, but I like dumb in a way that I like love so much.
Legendary movie.
It's insane.
Yeah, she's in some weird stuff. Bride Wars.
Oh,
Come
yeah.
on, don't slum it, Anne. Valentine's Day. You're better than that.
We can't put one of those Gary Marshall movies on the bracket, though. Like,
no.
There's 40
That's
people
nobody's
in there.
movie. And just to close the loop, Get Smart's Bruce and Lloyd, Out of Control.
There you
It's
go.
a straight-to-video PG-13, hour and 12 minutes, still technically a movie. And it is, you're so right, it is Masaoka, who was Hero in Heroes.
Okay.
And Nate Torrance, who was in everything you'd recognize him. I'm trying to quickly...
Wait, Nate Torrance.
He played like slightly chubby friend for 6 years straight.
No, I truly have not heard the name Masaoka since 2008 or whatever that was.
Ryan, you fucking nailed that. You would recognize these people, but they lived for this 1 year, and that's it.
Oh my God, yes. This guy.
Hey, video editor, put his picture up right now. let the viewers know who we're talking about.
Or actually, I have his number. Do you guys want me to just call him?
Yeah, get Nate on the show.
Get him to guest.
We learned that's our friend Nate, who's on the show all the time. We've just never brought up that he's...
Oh, man.
You know what? He's making Zootopia money, so he's fine.
Oh,
yeah.
He's fine.
He's got a Zootopia voice.
Is he the big guy who likes donuts?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
He's like the chubby like bear, polar bear, tiger or something.
So okay, I'll take this job, but we're just saying that even when I'm animated, I have to be chubby?
Yes.
I need new agents.
Wow. So that's Anne Hathaway's career. We're going to take the quick breaks and we come back more Devil Wears Prada. Taste Buds, the long-running hack tag of this movie says Nate, her boyfriend, is the true villain. But people say it like they cracked the code of the movie. Nobody's talking about it, even though that's all everybody talks about. What do we actually make of Andy's home life? Are her friends and boyfriend written fairly, or does the film stack the deck against them?
I am so baffled by Nate and the friends because they automatically like sort of like there's no period of time where they're like, yeah, we get it. You know,
Right.
like they're sort of like kind of snarky about her job right away. And
Yeah, they roll their eyes harder than Andy does.
Yeah.
Fashion, okay.
And like I don't know, I just feel like it's obviously a heightened world, but like in a real partner would be like, oh, I kind of get it, like I'm sorry, and like he's like instantly mad like at her all the time.
Also, you know who has the craziest fucking schedule? People who work in restaurants. So shut up, dude.
Well, he's mad she can't hang out at 3 a.m. anymore.
Right.
Because you put Gruyere in my grilled cheese. Them together, the friends together, and I watching this movie, I realized that maybe I wasn't successful because I had friends I really wanted to hang out with, and they kept me hanging out instead of like working successful jobs. But watching these scenes with these friends, it reminded me of this like trend in the 90s of these commercials where it was a bunch of like vapid people talking about nothing. And then at the end of the commercial, it'd say like Levi's jeans or Kia Sorento or just like some random thing.
Oh,
yeah, but like
that's like bringing a bell to me.
The way that it's shot is commercial like, and like, aren't these people pretty and cool? And it doesn't matter what they're saying.
What I think it needs is a scene to show how they're friends before like it flips, right? Because like, how can you know what a job is changing if somebody's changing from A to B if you don't ever we don't get to see her A.
Right. Yeah.
We're told they all get along, but they're all constantly learning about each other in every scene. They're like, oh, you do that? Like, I thought you were friends since grade school.
I think
so, Mike, you want training when you start a job and training when you start a friendship. Like, we need to learn some stuff about each other.
I would love any sort of training in this life. I'm not doing well.
Even if they were like, oh, back in college.
Right.
You know, like if there was like 1 or 2 lines where we like knew how they knew each other.
Mm-hmm.
Or if one person says, you've been doing that since college, and then the next person says, hell, she's been doing that since first grade.
Right.
We have stuff now.
Yeah. The only friend they bring back for the sequel is Tracy Toms, who has a much sort of like bigger role and is like Anne's bestie or Andy's bestie. And like, and I think she's kind of the only tolerable friend in the friend group because she loves purses. And she still loves purses in the sequel. But like, I was so confused by the Rich Summer character. Like when I was rewatching it, I was like, is he gay? Like I was like, I couldn't get a read on him. Or I'm like, or is he dating Tracy Toms? Like I was like, what is going on here?
He's not dating her because at the art, she should get Andy more than anybody because she works in the art world. So I think
you don't have like a normal job either.
Right.
None of them do.
But we don't know what Rich Sumner does. His job is to show up and get made fun of.
At some point, they say what his job is, and they're like, they kind of shit on it. They're like, oh, you work, it's like something boring. And he's like,
right.
Murr, murr. And they're like, you know, they kind of shit on his job as well. But like, I was like, what is this guy's deal?
I was going to say, at Tracy's art show, where she was like, you start at the back and work your way back towards the front door. It's beautiful. I planned it that way. That's fucking stupid then. That's a fucking stupid way to plan that. So you need people to ignore everything they see first and then come back. Yes. But in that scene, she says, oh, there's somebody I want to introduce you. I'm going to set you up. So that's when you go, they're not dating. But
right.
We don't see who it is. So he might be gay. And if he is gay, they're making fun of him the whole time about liking fashion.
Yes.
Or he's pulling I can't remember who played it in The Office, but when Pam goes to New York, and this guy tries to like slide up next to her and act like her friend, but really wants to get with her. Do you know who Rich Summer's playing here, Mike? Because I think you mentioned this earlier. It's Bernie from Notting Hill as the straight guy. Because Notting Hill is the premier here's my group of friends movie.
Okay.
Like, that movie nails that better than any rom-com in history. Mm-hmm. And I'm not saying this movie's purposely trying to hit that. And if they were, don't even. Like, that's like saying, I think I'm going to model my baseball game after, somebody great. I'm not good at baseball. But they're trying to have like this really like earnest or casual flow. Like, look how great they are together, and it's not there. It makes me want Miranda back on screen so bad.
Yeah. I don't know. I just felt like it's funny because I did in my review of Devil Wears Prada 2, I said something about the villainous Nate because just assuming that like the discourse online, everyone's always like, Nate's the villain in this movie, which you mentioned. I had some random man like adding me on Blue Sky, I think, like of all the social network sites, like being like, you said Nate was the villain. Like, he's not. How dare you say
coming out to
Nate.
defend Nate.
Yes, he was
I love this guy's life.
Nate. And I just sort of ignored it. I actually would love to find this reply. I will try to find it quickly because I was like, what? Nate has shooters in these streets.
Yeah, he's on some 12-person subreddit thread of like Nate for life.
Yes. And he's like going around like searching Nate.
Yeah. Who's hating on Nate?
Yeah. I will protect his honor.
I won't defend Nate, but I will say I think rewatching it.
By the way, real quick, Mike, are you on Blue Sky? Are you following Katie?
Yeah.
I think the amount of hate he gets because people are like he never supports her. I think in the first half of the movie he does lightly make fun of her. I don't think as bad as her friends do. And then he's like, "This is killing you." Like for the first few scenes they have together, he's like, "This is hurting you. You should get out because you're not happy. These people don't treat you right." And I do think he overreacts and he's dramatic. And any adult who cares about their birthday is a fucking dumb weirdo. But I do think
I'm not sure he's an adult yet, though.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's 27, which is my new line for adults. I think that like him sitting on that couch staring at the wall when Andy comes in with the cupcake and the candle.
Mopes.
And like he's got the birthday blues and he won't talk to her and then finally he does, but then walks right past that cupcake. He knows, based on tradition, he's supposed to blow that candle out and he does not. He's proving a point. He's a baby, but like kind of one of the more realistic people in the movie.
It's realistic, but also
That's true.
She doesn't do anything. I think it's that the friend group is written so poorly, but she is not a presence in their lives and is like, why don't you guys let me just ignore you for a year and be fucking fine with it?
Right. All right.
It's the no heroes.
I can't find the Nate Defender, but believe me, he's real.
Listeners, we're going to put a phone number up on our screen. If you know who this is, give us a call and let's get him on the show.
And then we're going to put up a second phone number. It's Katie's. If you love Nate,
yes,
give her
please.
a call. Let her know why.
Let me know. I'm standing by. Operators are standing by.
Do not call her. That would be rude. Text constantly. That's how we do it now.
Yeah.
Let's pivot to a character that we have not talked about yet. Who Christian is a dog from the minute he shows up. Simon
Cowell,
I think. It's the blonde guy.
Simon Baker?
Baker,
yeah.
Thank you.
The Mentalist?
It is
the Mentalist.
Is his only appeal that he's older? Because he's an obviously gross guy who's read the game from scene one.
Yeah, and like I was sort of shocked again, like rewatching it. Like they have this kiss and then they like wake up and she like wakes up in his hotel room. I'm like, damn, Andy. Not to slut shame, but I was like, what?
But slut.
My favorite part of that scene, this is where I took notes, not for the podcast, but just for my life, is that she keeps saying no to the kiss and he just keeps on kissing. And that's some 2006 shit right there.
Very 2006.
It is. Every kiss makes her... It feels like that fucking Christmas song. Every kiss makes her go, well, and thankfully they kept the line in of like, I'm out of excuses. Showing like, letting us know if that line wasn't there, but showing us like, it was always like, I know I shouldn't do this, but I do want to. But the line was still blurrish, especially when she's 22. She's right out of undergrad and he is 40.
The thing is that like, what's weird about it weird as in like this is not what you would typically see in a movie like this is that he proves himself to the audience at least to be a piece of shit,
right?
And then Andy sleeps with him. So not to slut shame, but like you would usually get that revelation of, oh, I'm out of here. Like he in most movies he would have pushed too hard, she would have slapped him, and that would have been it. And then he proves that he's been, if not undermining Andy, then undermining Miranda this entire time. So he has more villain to pour on top of his villain.
I get, like, if you're looking at career-wise, why he'd be into it. The two things where I'm like, okay, I knew you were a dog this whole time and you're proving it is his proof is Miranda's old. That's one of the reasons she should leave, so eat shit. And he's, like, smug and snarky about it. Like, isn't it... It's so many of the people in this, it's not just that they fuck each other over. They're like, isn't it great that we get to hurt somebody right now?
Yeah, I also think that like if you're going to just like something about the casting with the Adrian Grenier and the Simon Baker. I mean, not that Simon Baker is like a handsome man, whatever, but like 2006 Adrian Grenier, you're not getting better than that. Like, I'm sorry, he's so hot. Like, even if he sucks as a boyfriend,
You're right. It's why he's allowed to suck.
Yes, it is why he's allowed to suck. Like, but
Simon
I don't know.
Baker,
I
you're
think
basically Turtle.
yeah,
in this situation.
exactly.
Get out of here.
But like, I think I needed a little bit more appeal from him
Right.
to like understand like why she is so sort of like taken with him, other than like she thinks he has a cool job and
Yeah,
he helps
he's like
her
an
with
older
it.
writer.
The appeal is I can introduce you to the editor of New York Magazine
Yeah.
right now. And I get that for keeping him as a contact.
Yeah.
Right.
Thank
And,
you.
like, it does show how coldly ambitious, but again, because the movie doesn't actually interrogate anything. But that would be a move if it showed how coldly ambitious she is of, well,
Right.
if I fuck him, I definitely will end up in the New Yorker. Like,
And now she's afraid of, like, is she becoming too Miranda
Right.
because she's treating people like this? Interesting idea, Magic. I wish the movie had heard of
let's
stuff like
hey,
that.
the three of us are going to rewrite this movie.
We're gonna get it right. Swap this twist. Put this character in the lead. These are the
People will hate it.
things. Yeah.
It is time for speed round, which is like the other rounds, but we're going to go quicker. Let's start with this. And we sort of touched upon it, but regardless of what you think of the movie as a whole, and we all have different feelings, it's hard to argue, nay, impossible, that Meryl Streep's Miranda Priestly is iconic. How did Streep fucking do it again?
It's very different than so many of her roles. And she only has that one scene about her two kids finding out about the divorce that is even remotely close to FYC, right? As opposed to like Sophie making her choice or whatever. The scene that got me was there was a board meeting, like they were talking about what's in the next magazine. And in every scene in every other movie in that situation, people are screaming.
Right.
And in this scene, you can tell that her entire company goes along with her, who will not raise her voice above a whisper. And for her to command this entire film and this entire company with that voice, which I know is based on Anna Wintour, but also this is Streep committing to this. Like, I'm not sure I love this movie, and yet I would still back up the Oscar nomination. Like, she just figures out exactly how to get to the middle of this character.
Yeah, I think the quietness, that choice to make her quiet and powerful is such a unique characteristic, like such a unique choice, acting choice. And so, yeah, I think you nailed it. Like the way that she rules with fear, but not with volume, I guess. Like, because everyone else thinks of a toxic boss screaming, yelling, throwing things, and like hers is more of a psychological warfare.
It's hard to imagine Scott Rudin with this quiet voice.
Yeah.
Like, that is all, and then whipping his phone at your head.
I know.
I'll say I also learned one of my professors in grad school, he would do that. If people were talking, he would just talk quieter and
Yeah.
quieter and quieter. And so when I was teaching, I fully stole that. I was like, oh, me yelling scares them and doesn't actually want to make them listen. So I'll just be like, this is on the test, and then get quieter, quieter,
Oh,
quieter. and it's
wow,
on them.
that's
then
really
they tell each
interesting.
other to shut up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
So having them, like, self-police is the way to do it.
yeah. And her performance in the sequel is so good. Like, I know
Is
it's freaking Meryl Streep. Yeah, she's just so good. And like her arc is interesting because it's kind of like they introduce this like tech bro guy who's gonna like buy the magazine, and he, you know, they're talking about art, and he's just like talking about AI and how like we just have to like go towards the future. And you know, she and these other, you know, they present them as these like artisans who are you know, this traditional way of doing things, like making a magazine. And what does she has like one line, I can't remember what the word is. It's like, oh, it's like maybe. And because he says, oh, this is the way it's going to be, and blah, blah, blah. And then she just goes, maybe. And like in that one line delivery, you just hear like the weight of everything she's going through. And I don't know, it's just like there's so much meaning packed into this word. It seems so stupid to be like, yeah, Meryl Streep, great actor.
Right.
But
She's going places.
yeah. But like it's remarkable to watch her sometimes, like with the choices that she makes with one word.
I just recently watched the finale of The Comeback and the finale of Hacks, And I feel like some artists are nervous about AI and want to tell stories about it.
Right.
Can a movie have too many montages? And sub question: rank this movie's montages.
Oh, interesting.
Should we list
I mean,
them
I
all?
think
Yeah, I can. I'll list them up when we can. Ryan, sorry.
one of them has Suddenly I See, and I think that this is number one, or not ranking, but like chronologically the first. And I do think that this might be the movie's closest attempt to like show the glamour and the dirt of the world, and we get it right off the bat.
Yeah.
Of
The
people,
underwear.
Yeah, and like all the stuff that it takes to, not all the stuff, but like the closest the movie gets to what it takes to be in this world, and then the reasons why. Because if you're into purses, like Rich Summer famously is, then is this all worth it? You know?
Yeah.
So yeah, well, chronologically here, there's probably more, but I count 4 montages. There is the opening credits, which you just described. There's Miranda's coat tossing montage, where showing time is passing and Andy is learning nothing because she just gets a coat and a purse thrown at her face over and over and over again. There's Andy's makeover, which is her like walking through the city from being schlumpy into 1,000 like high fashion. And then
Chanel
there's
boots, is that Chanel boots?
Chanel boots, yeah.
Yeah.
And then there's the Paris introduction, which is then we're just like, oh my God, we got to go to Paris. We should probably show everybody Paris for a second before we go back to what the movie is.
I do think a movie can have too many montages. I don't think this movie has too many montages. I think all of those montages are great and necessary and like whip us through certain things that we need to know.
Yeah, there was 4 non-montage scenes in a row in this movie, and I was like, where is our montage? Can we get back to the montage?
Yeah.
I think the Paris one's important because it didn't just look like somebody searched Paris montage on YouTube, right? Like it seemed very purposeful. And I think it has a really crazy moment from Andy where she is super fucked up about stealing this from Emily. And then she's looking out her car window and has the biggest grin. Like she's officially over it. She is not thinking about Emily anymore. Right. And that's either what Miranda or Paris can do to you.
Mm-hmm.
Is this the first movie or TV show in history where Rich Summer plays someone who actually might be the lead character's best match instead of the shithead everyone hates?
So you think that Rich Summer should be with Andy?
No, I think that part of the question I could delete. But is this the first time he's allowed to be likable? Who is a very charming, likable person IRL?
I think he's likable in Mad Men.
Wow. Okay. We have to
is that
interrogate
my
that later.
is that my like psychology I have to unpack?
I think it's against the backdrop of pure dogs and villains that he works with. Sure, but he is such a weak cuck. And doesn't call anybody out on their shit, which is what I mean when I say cuck. That like he's such a Ross Geller. He's such a weak man in Mad Men.
Yeah, I think I just thought he was cute.
Yeah, for sure. He rocks a bow tie.
Yeah,
the Barney Rubble of our generation.
for sure. My God, I don't know. That's a really good question. Yeah, because he does often play smarmy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just like it sucks, but he's just got that kind of punchable face.
Mm-hmm.
Not for me.
Right. For you, he has a kissable face, but for most people,
yeah.
Allegedly, Meryl Streep wouldn't speak to Anne Hathaway on set so she could stay in character. Is that a sign of a great performance, or instead making sure every aspect of everything stays toxic?
I think like I had heard that she, like everyone was joking around and having fun, and she was like, I can't like joke around and have fun with them if I'm gonna, be in this character.
You can if you just then go act when they say action. It's like I'm becoming more and more. Maybe this because I'm getting older, but Brian Cox making fun of Jeremy Strong's acting style. It just sticks in my head. Like, Katie, do you think this trend is going away of this method of acting?
No, I think Jeremy Strong is making it cool.
But it feels like people are making fun of it more. I feel like for 20 years it was like, isn't that great? And now people are like, nerd?
Yeah.
I think R-Pat's popped the balloon.
Yes.
I think
when Robert Pattinson said that like no one method acts with like because they're performing as a nice person.
Yeah.
It's only when they're a piece of shit.
I think British actors sniff at it all the time. Like, I think like British actors think it's ridiculous, and I don't know what they're teaching over there in RADA, but apparently it's like how to have fun and be an amazing actor at the same time.
Crazy.
But I don't know. Like, I think that I think it's coming back for certain actors. I know Connor's story from Heat of Rivalry. Well, that might just be a accent thing, but he like kept the Russian accent the whole time. And then at the rap party, people were like, "Whoa."
Yeah, that makes sense to me.
Right, because like I think getting in and out of a
wanna lose
really
it.
challenging accent is probably
Right.
really hard.
But the fact that he would not take off his ice skates even during sex scenes, that's too method.
It's too method.
My feet are cut up.
Yeah, there was a danger on the set. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think people are fed up with like really toxic like set workplaces, especially because I
Right.
think that like those can be like really insane, challenging workplaces just in general. And so I think people are much more like, no, I really like this person and I want to keep working with them, and like we're not going to put up with bad behavior.
Right.
So
But Jared Leto, you keep getting those jobs, baby. Be that beacon for all of us.
Jared Leto, who's actually so good in Masters of the Universe.
Is he?
Yes.
I'll never know.
But you don't see his face ever because it's like an entirely CGI character. But
Yeah, that helps.
yeah, it does help.
Our final question. Letterboxd user Clownhead points out that Emily Blunt's character is named Emily, and her main characteristic is being blunt. Discuss.
Oh,
It's brilliant. I mean, Katie, you should talk about film criticism, but I think that's the best review of any movie I've ever seen.
you know what? It's great. I think this person nailed it. I think Emily Blunt should have gotten an Oscar nomination for this performance. She's so good. She's so much fun to watch. I love her in this mode. And I just think this character is really fun. And Stanley Tucci is married to her sister,
Yeah.
which is a
She
fun
was
fact.
a bridesmaid
Whoa.
at Stanley Tucci's wedding. I watched this movie and Disclosure Day back to back.
Oh, wow.
Not even thinking about the connection.
Double blunt.
And yeah, I smoked 2 blunts, and this was her breakout role, and probably I think also like one of her first, just like Anne Hathaway, and then her most recent role. And she's great in Devil Wears Prada. I think that she has become Anne Hathaway level talent. Like Disclosure Day, I think might get a Best Acting Oscar
Damn.
nomination.
She's really good in Disclosure Day.
I couldn't believe it. I mean, like I could believe it, but like it's an alien movie, so I did not
Yeah.
think that kind of pathos would be coming out of a performance.
Oh, I gotta see it.
Yeah, she's really good. And I think she it's kind of similar. They're kind of similar roles ish because like she's on this edge of mania in both of them, or like this like kind of like intense level of energy. I mean, obviously Disclosure Day is like way more intense, but I think there's like kind of no one I'd rather watch be like on the edge of a nervous breakdown than Emily Blunt.
That's good too. Yeah, and it's crazy that 20 years apart and how she is aged 6 or 7 years is very impressive.
Well, she's had some help.
What?
Lots of water.
This is the Disclosure Day.
Yeah. We're going to disclose about the fillers and the veneers. At least in Prada, you can see her original teeth.
Every tooth should be exactly the same. That is how God intended it.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to take the quiz breaks, and when we come back, give out some awards. It is time for awards, and I haven't been able to say this all season. The Oscars actually knew this movie existed.
Yeah.
It was nominated for Best Actress, as we talked about, Meryl Streep, and Best Costume Design, which makes total sense.
Did not win?
Nope, just nominated.
Okay.
I'm sure a movie with elves came out, so they had to give it to that or something for costume design. I believe this is our first Anne Hathaway that we've ever done. And
Really?
this one feels like I'm just way wrong. Our first Meryl Streep.
Marie Antoinette.
Marie, I was like, that's this year. And Meryl Streep's not in it, Ryan. Now I understand what you're saying. Marie Antoinette won costume.
Won costumes.
That,
Oh,
you know,
okay.
I can't hate that.
Yeah.
It's pretty great costumes. So we're going to give it awards.
Mike, no. Sorry. Meryl Streep starred in a Movie of the Year winner. Do you want me to do this on the show?
Yeah,
or
no.
Should I save this for later?
No, tell me on air. Let people know. Shame me.
Meryl Streep was in 2000's Movie of the Year. Adaptation.
Oh, yes. That makes so much sense. My brain will only ever remember one Movie of the Year, and it was the first one, and then it never, I know Eyes Wide Shut won 1999, and I will remember nothing else ever.
Did she play the Blue Fairy in AI, which was also a movie that we did?
Meryl Streep did?
I want to say. Anyway.
Well, we're going to give it awards that it will actually win. Let's start with one of this season's specific awards, iPhone it in. What scenario would an iPhone have totally fixed, Ryan? Start with you.
Now, totally fixed? I don't know, because Adrian Grenier is going to Adrian Grenier. But if you could text your boyfriend, I'm running late, instead of him, this was 2006. He was sitting in the dark that entire time, not knowing what was going on.
But doesn't she call at some point about that?
She makes a couple of phone calls, but is he there? Where I call? I just think a constant, or he could even have Find Me on his.
I guess I didn't
cell phone.
think. Yeah, I guess I thought because I was like, oh, this movie has so many cell phone moments,
right?
That I was struggling to see where an
iPhone specifically would have fixed it.
Yeah. Also, well, I guess I got a BlackBerry in 2007, so maybe I don't know.
That's why this award is for this season, is because smartphones in general, came out in 2007.
Okay.
So a year later, everything changed.
Yeah. But she's having all these cell phone calamities, which felt very real for that moment in time.
And we get a all-time phone moment where she walks over to the fountain and throws her phone in it. For which she should have been arrested by the French police immediately. But.
I was like, if she had an iPhone that had Do Not Disturb, that would have fixed a lot of things.
Oh,
because that annoying ringtone was driving Adrian Grenier nuts.
A scene that I definitely hate the friends in, because for a lot of the movie I was like, are they actually right? And then they know she's stressed, she is emotionally on edge, and they steal her phone when her abusive boss is calling.
Diabolical.
Are you serious, guys?
I would have thrown punches.
Yeah, me too.
Sure, I'm too attached to my job or whatever, but you have my phone right now? Absolutely not.
Oh, when I was a film PR assistant in New York at this era, I was glued to my BlackBerry. My friends were like, "You're insane." I would be waking up at 6 a.m. and responding to emails and stuff, which is normal life now. But I had friends who were like, what the fuck is wrong with you? But they would never have fucked with my, me doing my job.
My iPhone in is the first time she drops off the book and she's like, which table with the flowers? Take a picture of the 3 tables with flowers and send them to Emily and be like, which one?
Yes.
Again, lack of training. This is on her higher-ups, not on her. But don't believe twins ever.
No.
Certainly don't believe rich, spoiled little shits who are smirking. You naive fool.
Yeah.
If I saw those twins talking to me in that house, I would have been like, oh, I'm in the Shining house. They're dead.
I don't think Miranda has daughters.
Yeah. No, that was such a bumbling fool move to go up the stairs.
She's a dumb.
Yeah.
Andy is not a smart person
She's
throughout
not
this movie.
smart.
An award. Move on to an award that seems made for this movie, but also so very hard. Normally, it's easy because I think last movie I did a good-looking flannel on somebody in the puffy chair. Best fashion, Katie. What pops?
You know what? The fashion in this movie is actually really hard for me because it's so 2006.
Yes.
That I have not yet come around to re-embracing it. Mm-hmm. I was gonna say the all black look that she wears to the Paris luncheon at the end. It's an off the shoulder. Her makeup looks really pretty. And then I saw
feathery bangs.
The bangs and a black eyeliner and a red lip.
And is that Is that the one where Nigel comes in and she says, "I designed that myself"?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
this was not put on me. These were my
Yeah, she's
my
like, I just
choices."
threw this together.
But then I got a full length look at it. Like from the top up, I was like, oh, stunning, gorgeous. And then there's like when she throws the phone in the fountain, I think is like, I was like, oh, this full length is really ugly. But I don't know. I think my favorite look is at the very end. It's either Miranda's green coat that she's wearing when she walks out and they see each other on the street. It's like a really fabulous coat. Or Andy's, and then there's Andy is wearing just like a cool black leather jacket. It's like Andy separate from Runway, or it's a brown leather jacket, but it's like she's learned her lessons. She's now stylish, but she's like herself. I was like, oh, I like this outfit. Or it's gonna be the like wild animal photo shoot in Central Park where they all have
urban jungle. I get it.
yeah zebra masks on. I was like, what the fuck is this?
How did Nigel not say that is, to me, and I know nothing about fashion, right? I have a Marvin the fucking Martian hat on right now. To me, that is the same thing as floral in spring. How inventive. Like,
Groundbreaking. Yeah, I don't know. It's hard for me. A lot of these looks, I'm like, ooh, these are ugly.
yeah. Fashion, high fashion. That's why it feels like art is it's ugly, and that's the point.
Right.
And Ryan, what do you got?
I mean, I guess I'm sorry that I'm such a basic guy. I'm sorry that I like still use Redbox to rent movies, and I'm sorry I drive my tractor on the freeway. But it's the Cerulean sweater. She looks incredible.
That sweater's so ugly.
No, it's a gorgeous blue. I now know the history of it, and I think that she doesn't look better in the entire movie than that scene.
It looks
Wow.
cozy.
Wow.
That's an interesting stance. But here, I'll share mine. Why I'm a fool is mine is Katie talked about it in a thing she hates is the I just threw this together is the one where I was like, that's not completely stupid.
The all black outfit?
Yeah. And like I think why you said why it's ugly, but I guess like it seemed interesting but not totally fucking dumb to me was the downside is like the jacket flares out like in a very pointy edge before it turns into like skinny pants. And I was just like, I don't like when fashion is art, I always think it looks fucking stupid.
Can I do one honorable mention here?
Sure.
We need a different choice from you.
No, my choice is Cerulean blue sweater. I want to make that clear. Die on that hill. She looks amazing. She looks like the teacher I always wanted as a kid. It's Nigel's like tweed bow tie suit.
That's a good point. I should have been looking at Nigel.
He looks dressed up, but also kind of cozy.
He does the understated thing very well. Like it's up there, but understated. Yeah. All right. Cringe. What is the cringiest moment for you, Ryan?
It's because like Anne Hathaway's character is sort of separate from most of the movie from all these people. That's sort of the point, right? Like she's the fish out of water or now into this water. But we talked about this earlier, but her saying, actually, I'm a 4. It's like, okay, fuck. So you're not gonna slap this guy and everyone else in the face, but you're gonna buy into it and like impress him with a number that is still too high for him. He's still gonna be like 4. You're fat, but you're still gonna correct him anyway.
Yeah,
hated it.
Yeah, that's a good one. Katie, what do you got?
I just put down like all the fat shaming, so kind of the same thing. What is like the worst one? I don't know. I don't know what the worst one is, but so many come to mind.
I think it might be when he's starting to give her like clothes, and she's like, "What about this?" He's like, "I don't have enough extra fabric in the world to make."
Yes,
it. Like,
yeah. When he's starting to like give her the makeover, and you're like, that's really bad.
Yeah. There's another one too where like Andy is such a dumb fat bitch. She doesn't know not to eat the corn chowder that's offered in the cafeteria, and the way that Nigel looks at her, like you are Jabba the Hutt. Like, how could you? And then she spills some on that gorgeous blue sweater, guys. Can we go back to the sweater?
He's like, you skipped the plate of 3 almonds, which you should have known was your
right.
lunch.
I know. I love when she eats like a big old messy bagel, and it's like, this is the kind of girl she is. He's like, who ate an onion bagel?
My favorite scene in the entire movie is Emily Blunt in the hospital bed, opening pudding while chowing on bread. Like, finally, I get to live my life.
She's like, you don't even deserve to go. You eat carbs.
Yeah.
I know. It's all so bad.
Yeah. But you said that does still exist in the sequel. They did not learn.
Yeah, they still like he still calls her Six, and I think it's like a little bit it's toned down. It's not as bad, but
yeah,
there's still a little bit going on. But what's funny in the sequel is that Miranda has to she's had to go through woke workplace training. So she has
training,
all these,
Mike. You got your training.
Oh, good.
She has all these assistants who are like, you can't say that. She also does have a fat assistant, like a big guy. Do you know the comedian?
Is it Caleb Heron?
Caleb Heron, who I love. So it's kind of like they're trying to be better, but they're not quite getting there. I don't know.
You saying he's in that remind me and makes me want to see it way more than I did.
Yeah, you know what? I think
him.
the sequel's actually really good. I enjoyed it.
They were about to get Mr. Beast for that role, but then they found somebody even more influential, Caleb Heron. So congrats to them.
My cringe, we've hit it. It's dogging Rich Summers' character for knowing about fashion. It's crazy.
Yeah.
One that you don't know. He's so clearly super into it and has been hiding it because these friends are the meanest pieces of shit you've ever met. So he knew he couldn't open up about his one true passion, which means also I think he's hiding that he's gay. Because if they make fun of him for knowing fashion, man, would they make fun of him.
Yeah,
for
there's
liking
weird
dudes.
stuff going on there. Toxic.
I don't know if
friend
they're
group.
making fun of him for the fashion or for showing any interest to Andy's life when we know this is what's going to tear her away. What
Right.
Rich Summers should be doing is disregarding this because we're all against it.
Right. Wait, disregarding what?
Don't talk to her about the fashion because then she's going to think we're okay with this new life she's chosen.
Gotcha. Which is why he's not in the sequel. He's broken up with everybody. He's happy somewhere else. Before we get to the big two awards, let's do recommendations. If you liked this or want something similar to this, what should you check out, Katie?
I have 3 suggestions. I think of the same era, How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days. Actual rom-com, but it's set at a magazine. You know, Kate Hudson, fun. I think Trainwreck with Amy Schumer. Tilda Swinton plays an insane magazine editor. Do you guys remember Tilda Swinton in Trainwreck?
No.
She's
I remember so little about Trainwreck.
She's super tan and has long curly blonde hair. And so Amy Schumer plays a writer at a Maxim, a men's magazine, a lad mag. And she does this, she's a train wreck, quote unquote, and she does this profile of a sports doctor played by Bill Hader. These are just magazine type of movies. It's set in a magazine. But I think the real recommendation for me is a show that was on Freeform called The Bold Type. And it was about 3 girls working at a magazine. And it's much more, it's the same world. It's Melora Hardin plays the editor, but it's much more updated 2020s, 20-teens. And Megan Fahey is on that show. It was the first time I ever saw Megan Fahey, and she's really fun. So I would recommend those 3. The Bold Type, How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days, and Trainwreck.
Ryan, what's yours?
This probably isn't a sleeper. You guys have probably seen this movie. But I want to discuss it in the wake of this movie because I was really surprised by how flat the jokes landed. And I can't go back to 2006 into a theater and maybe it was uproarious laughter. Or maybe it was just those kind of jokes where we enjoy that they're there, but they're not funny. You don't have to date as poorly as this movie does. And so a movie about 2 women hanging out, just chilling and having some barbs. Mike, do you want to talk about the movie that came out the day before All About Day?
No, keep going.
That day before All About Day is All About Eve. And that's a movie where the screenplay hits exactly as hard as it did back then. Yeah. There is no dating of these jokes. The entire time you're like, oh, damn, you want... Who's the guy from Bravo?
Andy
that host
Cohen.
those shows.
Andy Cohen?
You want Andy Cohen to have those ladies on his show, hash it out. I can't believe how well that movie holds up. And so it's not about, well, it was a different time. No, some screenplays are eternal.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, even like I just rewatched Sunset Boulevard and I was like, I can't believe how like current and like trenchant this movie is. But yeah, All About Eve, killer. I love that movie so much.
Phenomenal. The reason I made that face, Ryan, is because mine is just two ladies hanging out, trading barbs from a era way before, but not as far back as All About Eve. It was memory hold until it hit Broadway pretty recently, but I think the movie is way better than the Broadway play. And it's also Meryl Streep playing a jerk. It's Death Becomes Her.
Oh,
Right.
Which fucking rules and not enough people talk about it anymore.
yeah. Great movie.
It's so funny.
With Kate Hudson from 10 Things I Hate About You's mom, right?
Yep.
Katie's going to get points for that. Go watch all those movies, kids. All right. Now the final two awards, the ones that matter. Pound for pound performance. Ryan, what's yours?
Pound for pound performance. She's not the lead. She is the titular character. Her name appears first. She got the Oscar nom. But the reason for watching the movie is Meryl Streep. Like I talked about the iconic parts of this movie, just elevating this movie way above like its 2.5 star overall value. It's almost 100% because of her. And there are these movies in the past that will have these performances that like that's, we talked about, I think that The Dark Knight, not The Dark Knight Rises, but The Dark Knight is becoming that movie to me, where one performance sort of elevates kind of an average movie.
I agree with you for sure.
I don't think that movie holds up as well as people remember. It's certainly better than The Dark Knight Rises, but I think that this movie is like, I will recommend this movie to anybody I talk to if they haven't seen it before, even though I think I've made my opinions clear, and it's because of her. So
Right.
How can I not?
Fair enough. Katie, what do you got?
I mean, it's like, obviously it's Meryl Streep, but Emily Blunt just delights me so much in this movie. I just love watching her. Maybe it's because her character is like less lower, like she's lower stakes than the two of them. I don't know. She just is like pure entertainment for me.
And if you go back and watch it, like we did, like Anne Hathaway was a name.
Right.
Emily Blunt was not.
Total
this launched
unknown.
the entire career, and it makes sense when you watch the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, to pull not too much focus, but pull enough focus when you have Anne Hathaway, Meryl Streep, and Stanley Tucci, and then this new person's coming. I think she gets it feels like she gets the tone of the movie more than it like consistently throughout the entire movie.
Yeah.
If
And
Streep and Tucci and Hathaway said yes for 2, but Blunt said no, do you still do it? I think she might be that vital.
Yeah, she's vital, I think.
A lynched pin. All right, finally, director's signature moment. Before this, I think he was just TV, mainly Sex and the City. And then he went on to do some other stuff that feels negligible. Katie, so what is the director's signature moment?
I can't think of like a moment, but it's kind of what I was talking about before with the like the invisible style of it. Like I think he and the DP are like really good at this kind of like forward momentum. Like it always feels like it's moving forward, like this like walking and talking, sort of like camera blocking around groups of people. I think he does that really well. I don't know if that's a signature moment, but like for someone who does these kind of blandish chick flicks, it's like hard to be like, oh, that's your auteur thing. But I think he makes it like the flow of it feels effortless. And I think that's why you're not noticing big style moments.
Right.
Also, let your stars shine. Like,
Yeah.
if we want to compare this to Wolf of Wall Street, there's a lot of stars in that movie, but Scorsese is the star.
Yeah.
Like, you never forget that he is doing stuff constantly. And here he's like, I've got these 4 different levels of icon or future icon. I'm going to let him work.
Yeah.
Ryan, what's yours?
Magic, you queued this up for me with your question about montages. So for me, it was pick the montage. And I'm going with Chanel boots. I think that's best edited. It has the least to say of the overall thing. I still think that's the opening montage. Suddenly I see. But this montage does a really good job of getting us through time like montages are supposed to. And then sort of, I think it lands the plane of where Anne Hathaway was and is throughout the montage better than a lot of scenes with dialogue do.
Yes.
He really does his work here.
Yeah.
That is mine as well. It is that, and it gets to do the thing so much the movie wants to do, but the not great dialogue can get in the way. It's just fashion porn. So look at all these killer outfits as she's, and like I think the editing is super sharp there. Like every time she just cuts behind a car real quick.
Yeah. Those like
sometimes I wonder if
cuts,
what we want from a movie like this isn't Andy starting the job, and we've talked about this. Like maybe start with Emily Blunt already in the position, right? Instead of Andy holding our hand through it. But like what we want is competency porn. And if this movie was closer to like Spotlight of watching a bunch of people who are great at their job do their job, and less about like watching this person enter this world, I think it might have been better.
The sequel's kind of like that.
Okay.
I'm not going to say
honestly,
the sequel is Spotlight, but like it is about like people being good at their job.
I had so little desire to see the sequel, but
I'm selling you on it. I loved it.
You really are. You really are.
I like it better than the original because
That's awesome.
Andy annoys me so much in the original that like I like she's humbled when she comes back in, and I enjoyed that. I don't know. I really liked it.
No, I too am going to watch it as soon as I can, despite my feelings towards this first one.
That is our Devil Wears Prada show. Katie, this will be harder for you to answer. We have our end of season awards. There's best car, best duo, best shithead. Ryan, what do you think this could, like? I think like we say every week, could best shithead be from this movie?
Of course, best shithead could be from this movie. It will absolutely, if it gets a nomination. This is a field of shitheads, but it's Simon Baker who would get nominated.
Yes.
Yes.
That guy fucking sucks. I have something I pitched to Matt Singer and Greg on the Willy Wonka show. So I'm going to pitch something similar to you guys. I pitched, could Willy Wonka be nominated for best supporting actor? Because of the amount that he's in the movie. And they both said, no, you're an idiot. And I was like, okay. And then they said, you're a piece of shit. And I said, hold on, guys, let's calm down. Could Meryl Streep do best supporting actress?
Because she's
based on
so
screen
much
time.
less.
Wasn't that her nomination or no? It was lead.
She was best actress. Yeah.
Yeah, best actress. That's going to be my push, Mike. Is
I think that
Meryl
makes total
Streep,
sense.
and then she wins. I don't even know who else would be nominated. She just wins.
Right.
Yeah.
Which is why the Oscars probably didn't do that. They're like, that's not what we're just gonna just give it to her.
Well, in the world of category fraud that we live in now in the Oscars, where Zoe Saldana wins Best Supporting Actress for the movie she's in like every scene of, Amelia Perez, they would totally put Streep in supporting, and then she would win.
Yeah.
Speaking of Amelia Perez, it was so great to sit down and watch this movie and be like, oh, this will be nice. And then fucking J.K. Rowling just makes a unseen appearance.
I know.
Thanks for that movie.
There was so much Harry Potter. Yeah.
And then, of course, our classic award that we give out every year, Mike, best use of Kate T. Tunstall. I do think that this movie is a shoo-in for Suddenly I See, the opening montage. Yeah.
Finally, we talk about it every year and don't get to do it.
Yeah,
Nobody
finally you
else has
can
ever done
afford it.
Finally, I see.
Why. Oh, buddy. So let's get to our winners. Ryan, you got 129 points.
That's, I think, again, my new record for like the fourth week in a row.
Nothing to slouch out. Katie, 131 points. You are the winner of And My Best Friend for a week. I do enjoy blueberry muffins every morning.
Okay.
If you can make that happen.
Well, I'm glad you do.
Oh, that's a friend has boundaries, I guess.
Mike, can I ask you, did I lose because of the cerulean blue sweater or because of Katie's interesting points that she made? Like, which one?
Which will make it hurt more for you? The sweater. It was the sweater.
Good.
You know what, Ryan? God bless you loving that sweater. Someone has to.
Every time somebody says that to you, it feels good at first, and then you're like, oh no, they're calling you a moron.
Bless your heart. Bless your heart.
Bless
with
your
that
little heart.
Cerulean sweater.
Next episode, I don't know what it is. I don't know what movie we're covering, but I'm wearing that goddamn Cerulean sweater.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Another selling point for the sequel. The sweater comes back.
Is it in the Smithsonian where it belongs?
Yeah. The sweater returns. So
Is that trend back where like you wear the sweater, this is for boys or girls, and the collar and then the untucked shirt underneath the sweater? Are we back to that?
I loved that in high school.
I don't think that ever went away.
Okay, good. That's what I'm going to do for next episode.
Yeah, you should.
Then just stand on your desk so we can see it the whole time. Katie, thank you so much for joining.
Oh, this was fun as
great.
always. Thank you guys for having me.
Where can people find your shit?
So I review for the Tribune news service every week, and all my reviews are on Rotten Tomatoes. So you can look me up, Katie Walsh, on Rotten Tomatoes. And I sometimes freelance for the LA Times. I'm on Press Play, which is a radio show here in LA, and Film Week, which is a radio show here in LA. So you'll hear me around or read me somewhere. And I link all my stuff. I link all my reviews on my Letterboxd too. So follow me on Letterboxd. It's KatieWalshSTX. And I'm also on Blue Sky, although I'm pretty bad about posting.
Not for long.
There. Yeah. But Katie Walsh STX on Blue Sky. I don't know. Social media is weird right now. I don't know where to live on social media, but those are the two places you can look for me and look for my reviews and stuff. So Letterboxd is where all the stuff lives. So Katie Walsh STX.
Katie, not to put you
Oh yeah.
Not to put you too much on the spot, but what's the one movie from the first 6 months of the year that has the best chance of making your end of the year top 10 list?
Read my mind.
Actually, this is a movie I wanted to bring up to you guys earlier in the episode, but Nirvana, the band, the show, the movie.
Mike, what'd you think of that movie?
I haven't watched it yet. I'm sorry.
I almost brought up tonight when we were talking about the fat jokes. It's like saying the F slur in a movie, because that's the most important scene of the year, is the guy in the theater watching The Hangover.
Yeah. I was going to bring that up when I don't know, at one point we were talking about homophobic jokes or something, and I'm the time travel scene in Nirvana, the band, the show, the movie. No, there have been so many good Canadian movies, by the way, this year. Nirvana, the band, the show, the movie, Blue Heron, this really great movie called Mile End Kicks, which takes place in 2011 during the Montreal indie sleaze music scene. Very fun movie. Great stuff coming out of Canada. But what else? Those Canadian movies, I loved those.
Blue Heron is next on my watch list. That's not a fun movie, right? I should prepare myself.
I mean, it's not. It's definitely sad. Yeah, sad, contemplative, melancholy, moody, poignant.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
That's gonna be my Father's Day watch with the family.
Oh my God.
5-year-olds will enjoy it. I think they love to contemplate.
Yeah, they love to contemplate inner child healing and complicated family situations.
All right. Well, both of you, thank you so much. What a great show. You ruled. Hey, listeners, we'll be back next week. Until then, keep watching those movies.
The perfect cast.